and welcome back to the Rearview podcast. I am your host, Tom, and I'm joined, as always, by the wonderful Mr. Reese Keeble.
Hello. It's been a while, hasn't it?
It has, mate, yeah. I think it's been 6 weeks as recording this, 5 weeks till the race, and then we took a week for ourselves as well because we didn't have enough time off before the race. Just kidding. It was my birthday, Reese.
Happy 30th?
That's just uncalled for, isn't it, really? Let's be honest, that's uncalled for. 26, mate, though, I'm getting on.
Happy bloody birthday. Closer
to 50 than I am to being born.
Yeah, when you word it like that.
Yeah.
Someone said to my job's a teacher. One of the students said to me, "You've lived about a quarter of your life," and I went, "Huh."
No, I think you passed that. To be honest, mate.
Yeah, and I went, "It's very bold to assume I'm getting to 100 with my lifestyle." But there you go.
Shout out David Attenborough. Yes, mate. Big week. Lots going on. So the podcast, unfortunately, has been knocked back a little bit, but we're here. We're talking about Miami. Do you remember what happened?
I've got some talking points.
Yeah?
But I do not know the main talking point, and I'm going to smoothly segue for you here.
Oh.
The main talking point isn't the F1 Championship, it's the Rearview Podcast Championship.
The one that
counts. How I've done. The one that counts, and I have no idea how I've done. Please, can we get some results in?
Be very honest with you. It is time for the Rearview Championship.
Yep.
Whatever we called this. Rearview Predictions Championship?
The Rearview Championship. I think if we put two championships.
And as we mentioned in the last podcast, we are now counting sprint races in this championship. So the first sprint race we missed because we forgot sprint races existed when we came up with the game and we had to adapt it. We've adapted it. We now have sprint races in it. And do you remember what we said for the points on sprint races, Reese?
Were they halved or something?
No. So you get 1 point if you get it spot on.
Right, yeah.
So reminder of the rules, you get 3 points if you get your pole right. Mm-hmm. And then for each of the race podium, you get 3 points if you're spot on, 1 point if they're on that podium.
Yes.
If it's a sprint podium, we're not doing sprint pole. If it's a sprint podium, you get 1 point if it's spot on, 0 points otherwise, all right?
Yep.
So from a sprint race, your maximum's 3 points. A bit like a sprint race in real life, maximum's 8 points, right? It's much reduced, but there are chances to pick up extra points there if you're good. Reese, neither of us were very good this week. I'll tell you now, one of us got 3 points, one of us got 5 points. So considering we went from 7 points in Japan, it's quite a downfall for both of us.
Yeah.
I'll start with you.
What I can say...
Okay, go on.
Sorry, what I will say is to give us the benefit now, is that there's been quite a lot of... there's been that regulation change a little bit, and the cars have been changed a little bit.
Yeah, tweaks to the rules.
Tweaks to the rules, tweaks to the cars.
Been a month. We'll get on to it because actually I think that's one of the talking points we want to discuss in this episode is how the racing's changed and improved, I think, a little bit.
Absolutely.
But in terms of predictions, yeah, let's go through it. So, Reese, we'll go through yours first.
Yeah.
Do you remember who you got on your poll?
I have, Tom. It was a. No,
in fact, do you know
what?
Let's do sprint race. We'll do sprint race first before we go into the main race.
Yep.
So, sprint race. You told me the winner of the sprint race would be Kimi Antonelli. It wasn't. It was Lando Norris.
Yes.
So straight away, 0 points there. Second place, though, you told me it would be Oscar Piastri. And it blooming was Oscar Piastri. So a point for you right off the bat there, Reese. You've got 1 point from your sprint podium for Oscar Piastri. You did tell me it would be George Russell third, though, which in fact it was not. It was Charles Leclerc. So 0 points there. But you get 1 point from your sprint podium, which 1 out of 3 ain't bad. 183 ain't bad.
Said.
So I've told you someone got 5 points, someone got 3 points. You're on 1. So either I'm going to tell you your main podium now, you're going to pick up another 4, or you're going to get another 2. All right. For pole position, Reese, if you get this spot on, it's worth a big 3 points.
You're making a big deal out of this.
You got...
kind of nervous.
Yeah, you said it was Kimi Antonelli. You got your spot on. So you get 3 points there. You're up onto 4 points. First place,
Sick.
though, you had Oscar Piastri, who obviously came third in the actual race. So that's just 1 point for you there. Second place, you had George Russell. He wasn't on the podium. Third place, you had Charles Leclerc. He wasn't on the podium. So altogether, it's 5 points for you there. That is where all your points came from. You got Oscar right in the sprint, you got Kimi right in the pole, and you got Oscar right on the podium. It's a pretty good return.
You know, I'm happy with that. I'm really happy with that.
You very nearly had Charles Leclerc third if you hadn't messed up that last lap, and that would have been another big 3 points for you.
That's another talking point for later on. The absolute muppet.
Yeah, anyway. just about. We'll run through mine because mine don't really matter that much. Do they? I said Oscar Piastri was going to win the sprint. He didn't. I said Kimi Antonelli was going to come second. He didn't. I said Charles Leclerc was going to come third. He did. So I get a point there. I said George Russell was going to be on pole. He wasn't. I said George Russell was going to win. He didn't. I said Oscar Piastri would be second. He was third, so I get a point there. And I said Kimi Antonelli would be third. He won, so I get a point there. So 3 points for me. But
have you beat me in the weekly kind of
head-to-head?
As the weeks go by, head-to-head. If you need a head-to-head graphic as well.
Well, I'm working on it. Don't worry, mate. There is one.
Okay.
Head-to-head. In fact, I'll put it on screen right now. Across the weeks this week. First week, Australia, Reese, you won on 7 points. I had 3 points. China, this guy, 5 points versus your 2 points. But then Japan and Miami, you won both of those as well, head-to-head. So currently it's 3-1 head-to-head on race weekends.
Yep.
And in terms of the standings, Reese, it leaves you now on 21 points, and I'm on 12. Long old season, right? We're only 4 races in. Long way to go. Long way to go. Plenty of time for you to mess up still. In terms of records, Reese, you're on a pole streak. You've got your pole position right 2 weeks in a row.
Thank you.
So no pressure.
It'll be 3 weeks in a row once, the old Canada predictions happen.
We'll get to those at the end of the episode. So stay tuned for more Rearview predictions, Reese. Let's get on to that sprint race, shall we? Sprint race, Reese. So you are a massive McLaren fan. That's why you've got your merch on today. I like to see that you've shown up for the cause.
You know the fact that we're recording this a week after the race.
Yeah.
So when we famously went to Silverstone, I was a bit skinnier than I was.
Right.
So my 2 medium shirts do not fit. I've got 1 large shirt, and that is in the washer.
Nice. All right.
Because it's a week after.
You didn't want to squeeze into one of your mediums.
I feel for the fans.
Muscle fit, mate. Muscle fit.
It would be a treat. I think we'd get demonetised.
Oh well, yeah. But anyway, back to what we're actually talking about. The sprint race was finally a good return for McLaren. Our first 1-2 of the season, and although it doesn't matter in massive context, it was a great race performance, I thought, from Lando. Lights the flag, kind of absolutely smashed it. First 1-2 of the season, first win that wasn't a Mercedes session that was topped by them. Mercedes kind of actually looked a bit lost in it, and I think that's kind of something that will come on to throughout the weekend as a whole, but I think this 5-week break has come at the worst possible time for them, because I think they've really fallen back in terms of the advantage they had in the opening few races.
I genuinely couldn't agree more. And Russell was very vocal. I've got down here that the gap has obviously lessened, but Russell was very vocal that he was surprised at being outpaced.
Yeah, I think we've made our thoughts clear on Russell in previous episodes, but I don't think he continues to cover himself in glory.
Not at all.
I think he's very much still riding that kind of I deserve to be the champion boat. And unfortunately for him, he's now being consistently outperformed by his 18-year-old teammate. And I love to see it.
The bit that got me that you messaged about, and this is if you hate Russell, skip ahead about 30 seconds. We won't stay on him long. Don't worry. Sorry, I mean if you love Russell.
Either way, if you don't want to hear about Russell either.
Either way, if you don't want to hear us rant about Russell, it's what you pointed out to me, where he said, guys, the car's in the wrong mode. Come on, keep an eye out for that. And you were like, mate, you're the driver. That's your job.
Yeah.
And you're right. I mean, to give a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, someone else probably should have picked that up because he didn't. However, you're the driver. You should know what mode your car's in.
Yeah. He shouldn't be blaming anyone else for that. He should be first and foremost on top of that. Yeah, okay, your mechanic probably should remind you if you forget, but also I bet Max Verstappen's never forgot that. I bet Lewis Hamilton's never forgot that. If you're a serious world championship contender, you can't be forgetting to change your engine mode. Do you know what I mean? Like that's not a good impression in my opinion.
I wonder what else he does it for. Like, is he like, guys, I forgot to wipe my bottom. Someone should have told me. Someone should have told me that I had to wipe my bottom.
Yeah. It's not great, is it? It's not great. There was a few other talking points from the sprint race. Antonelli had a bit of a nightmare. Started poorly again, which seems to be a pretty consistent issue for Antonelli as starts. But, he pulls it back in the races. I don't think you can begrudge him of that. Did get a penalty as well, though, which, that's part of the game. I think for actual qualifying, that was interesting. He bounced back straight from that, took his third consecutive pole. He's showing himself in a really good light, I think. And, we knew that this kid had good talent. That was clear as soon as Mercedes made it, their aim to put him in that car straight away. They weren't messing about. They weren't putting, anyone else in that team, give him a year in Williams. They knew they wanted him. And I think we're seeing why. And I think Russell's seeing why as well, a little bit regretfully. But, he bounced straight back.
Toto was bold. It's been discussed time and time again. It's a bold move putting a rookie straight into a Merc. It's bold, yeah? And once again, why have we doubted Toto Wolff? Do you know what I mean? There's a reason he's paid the big bucks. He's got it absolutely spot on yet again.
Yeah. And I think, George is going to be feeling a little bit miffed, but if I'm in Toto's shoes right now, and he's had two drivers in a championship fight like this before in Hamilton and Rosberg, he needs to pick a driver. And it was a similar thing with McLaren last year, right? Like they needed to pick either Oscar or Lando. Towards the end of the season, they did just kind of push to Lando a little bit more, and Oscar fell off, which didn't help it. But I think Toto's
the thing with Sorry, go on.
Well, I was just going to say, I think Toto's not going to do what Zach did last year. I think he is going to pick a route. And I think right now, you'd have to wager your bet on he's going to go Kimi. Because consistently, Kimi is better.
Italian.
He's making a few mistakes, but he's got pace, he is fast, and he's likeable. And I think that genuinely does make a difference.
Yeah, the thing that Zach got really wrong last year was kind of the politics of running an F1 team, if you will. He got it so catastrophically wrong where the championship could have been lost. Not the Constructors' Championship, but the Drivers' one. Very much could have been lost because he didn't say, right, come this point, you're my number one driver, you're my number two driver.
Yeah.
He was too busy trying to play the politics of, and I think that's the hard thing that McLaren's got. And in some aspects, maybe Ferrari, if they're ever in that situation, you've got two drivers who deserve to be a number one driver, both driving for the same team. And that is where the kind of like you said, the politics and stuff like that really does start to struggle. However, with a boss like Toto, he'll never be in that situation because he'll be like, he's my guy.
Yeah.
Sorted.
I think the main thing for me as well, though, is that I don't think George is going to be the kind of guy to sit down and take that. I don't think he's going to want to be told, yeah, we're going for the younger lad.
No.
It'll be interesting to see how that unfolds because I think now there's a real... At the start of the season, I think Mercedes was so far ahead, Toto almost kind of could have got away with that and let them race and let them see who came out on top. But now they've got McLaren sniffing, right down their backs. They've got to make a decision.
And you wouldn't want to do that after George has forgot to wipe his bottom.
Reese's analogy of the week.
George?
There we go.
Thank you. Can you see George being one of Mr. Stroll's little driver boys after Alonso goes?
What, take him at Aston? Potentially. Yeah. If they sort it out, if they get that car working well, I could see it. I think that Mercedes team is pretty volatile at the moment. Like, I think you look at McLaren last year and you'd have said neither of those drivers are going anywhere. I couldn't say that for Mercedes. I couldn't say that for many teams right now. I think the whole driving market's in a bit of a volatile place right now. I don't know if you saw there was an article come out this week that from Sky Sports reporting this that Oscar Piastri is Red Bull's number one target if Max Verstappen moves on.
Yep.
And the fact they're looking at that means they feel like he might move on. And they've already identified Oscar as that person. So straight away, even just by Sky Sports reporting that, there's a little bit of unsettlement in the McLaren camp. Red Bull are then, Max is going to say, hang on, you're looking at my replacement. I haven't even told you I'm leaving yet. Everything feels a little bit like there could be a big change coming, like Hamilton to Ferrari kind of did a few years ago.
Yeah. It's another kind of interesting, silly season, if you will. There's loads of ifs and buts and maybes. You never know till it happens, do you?
No.
And would it upset me if Oscar was to leave McLaren, as I am a massive McLaren fan? Absolutely. However, do I think it would be beneficial of the team to maybe get a younger driver in from F2 who can play that role of a second driver and not kind of whinge and moan about it? Absolutely as well.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it goes, because I just still don't think, like, amidst all the rumours and the GT racing that Max is doing, I don't think he's leaving F1.
No.
So if he goes, where does he go? Does he go to a McLaren? Does he go to a Mercedes? Yeah,
he's got to go to the dominant car on the grid. Whoever wins the Drivers' Championship, he'll end up there, I reckon.
Yeah, and I mean, I think, like, whilst we're on Max, let's talk about him in this race, because I think we saw a different kind of Max where he kind of had a car under him and he kind of just didn't care. Like, and that's not criticism. I think you saw a Max that we haven't seen for a long time today, where he knows he's not got a dog in this fight anymore. He knows that 4 rounds into this championship already, he's not going to be in the battle for it. And he's kind of a bit carefree. Like, when have you ever seen Max Verstappen in the last few years just blipping on the throttle a bit early in lap 1 and spinning his car?
Yeah. It's like his head's somewhere else. And if you are Red Bull management, would you be looking at that and going, mate, I can't let you race in these other races. I can't let you do all this kind of gallivanting that you've been doing, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because your mind, like, he's not fully committed to F1. Like you said, seeing Max Verstappen spin a car, it was very cool, the way he span it round. And you were like, wow. Like, he was sick.
Held on to it.
However, you don't want that. You obviously don't want your main driver, your main boy, your golden child, your golden goose. You do not want him being like, oh yeah, no, well, on lap 1 I was just kind of thinking about, that GT race that I've got coming up. Do you know what I mean?
I do, but equally I also think, like, you've got to be a brave man to drop Max Verstappen. That's not going to happen, is it? Let's be honest. They're not going to do that, and if they do, fair enough to them. Like, I think he'll need to walk before they drop him. Do you know what I mean? I don't think that's going to happen. But in terms of, like, his performances, I think it was a good weekend. Apart from that spin and that first lap kind of head loss, he got it on the front row, which he hasn't been close to doing in the first few races. He was P2. He looked solid. He was behind Antonelli, and I think it is just a little bit of, like, he's back to the Max of just, what have I got to fight for? I just want to try and do the best I can. If I've got to risk something, I'll risk it. If I lose it, I lose it. Like, and I'm here for that. I think that will be exciting to watch.
Yep. While we talk about the Red Bull as well, it's not my funny of the week. My funny of the week's something different, but something that was very close to being my funny of the week was the changes to, obviously, the Red Bull, and Ted Kravis saying that he could fit his head through the rear wing of the Red Bull. And just the imagery of Ted Kravis walking around the pit lane trying to fit his head into rear wings just did real tickle me. So yeah,
I mean, what a design that is. I mean, again, I think it was on Ted's notebook. He kind of was talking about it, but seemingly Red Bull have had this in the works from before Ferrari debuted their Macarena wing. The Max Arena wing is what they're calling it, isn't it? Look, I mean, fair play to them. They brought it out and it looks great. I don't know if it gave them that much an advantage. Maybe it did in a straight line. Maybe that's how Max got to P2, because he had such a big reduction in aero. But yeah, I mean, it looks cool, doesn't it? Like, that opening mechanism is it's like that wide.
Yeah, it's huge.
It's massive.
Well, and we've got two kind of back-to-back races now. I know Canada's got like the kind of little bit of a turny bit, but it's got the long straight into the hairpin, and then the real long straight into the start finish.
Yeah.
We've got two races back to back, Miami and Canada, where that straight line speed is going to be so blooming important.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be really interesting to watch, and I think that rear wing technology and the way that these regulations are going to be investigated are going to be interesting to watch over the course of the season, because I think if tweaks continue to be made, there's been reports this week that they're going to return to V8s into 2030. Apparently, Mohammed bin Suleiman said that, which I'm here for. All right, but I'm skeptical if that's true. They're going to change the engine regulations next season as well to try and make the racing a bit better. 60-40, I think, 78-30 split instead of 50-50. But
yep.
I think like in terms of the changes they've made into this race, I saw definitely an improvement. The racing was good. It was closer. Mercedes aren't as dominant, which is always a good thing if one car isn't dominant. And I think we're in line for a pretty good championship now. It'll be a close fight.
And well, I've got down here on my notes, is this artificial overtaking nonsense come to an end? And I kind of think it has. I think that obviously you heard Will Joseph, Lando Norris's engineer, on his radio going, just let them yo-yo for a bit and, sit back, watch them overtake each other. Granted, yes, that is still a little bit artificial. However, I'm not hearing anyone now go, oh, it's rubbish this, go back to races where you'd get 3 overtakes in the entire race. I'm not hearing anyone really say that anymore.
Yeah.
I think now we've seen it work for like the last 5 races. You can very much tell that the changes positive. As much as the drivers will whinge about it, the change is positive for the sport, for the casual viewer going like, wow, like look at these overtakes.
Yeah, definitely. I think so. Shall we talk about Leclerc quickly on this race as well? Just kind of wrap up all of the main talking points there. I think Charles will be a little bit frustrated with how the race went for him. I think they got their pit call wrong. He got trapped into that fight with Piastri. Ended up getting a 20-second penalty for corner cutting after that spin and wall hit. I think it looked like he was going to have a good weekend. I think the Ferraris do look much better this weekend. I think the Mercedes, McLaren and Ferrari all look fairly competitive. I think he just equally kind of got lost a little bit on the last lap, and I think he'll be a bit frustrated with that, won't he?
Yeah, and I was quite surprised at the 20-second penalty on the final lap. I get that it was going off the track and like kind of corner cutting, if you will. 20 seconds seems a bit harsh though, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think you've got to look at it from the perspective of, was he corner cutting to try and stay ahead of Piastri, or was he corner cutting because he literally couldn't take the corner in any other way? And their argument would probably be, if he couldn't have taken those corners in any other way, he probably should have pulled the car over instead of trying to finish the race.
Yeah.
So the only way you could... I
just saw the number 20 seconds and I was like, that's a big... You'd normally get, 10 normally.
Yeah.
You don't really get 20-second penalties. Although it did make the end of the race quite interesting, the fact that he did that. I'm glad that the yellow flags weren't waved. I'm glad that the safety car didn't have to come out.
Yeah.
Glad he kept it going, because it was like, oh, Max might get him now, sort of thing. And it added that little bit of extra space, if you will, to the end of the race.
Yeah, so, it definitely did.
Leclerc is doing the age-old thing that happens at the Ferrari of when they're starting to look good, they find the multicoloured wig, they get the little red nose, and they start getting the face paint out again.
Yeah, and I mean, early on already, but Antonelli's now at the 100-point mark. He's 20 points ahead of Russell, and he's now 41 points ahead of Leclerc in third place. That's a pretty comfortable lead already to have for him, And I mean, let's not even talk about Norris, 50 points ahead of Norris for 49 points.
Yeah. Well, Norris sounded very upset as well on his radio after the race.
How did we not win this? I think he said, didn't he?
Yeah, and it was a bit...
Yeah.
You kind of wanted to be like, Lando, mate, you came second, sort of thing. and it was a good result for the team as well. It was a good haul of points for the team. But yeah, just to be like, oh,
I imagine
really
he probably felt after the sprint race that they had got the car to win the race. Their race pace was definitely a lot better than their qualifying pace after the sprint. I think qualifying, they will have been a bit disappointed with that performance, but they definitely pulled it back in the race, that's for sure. I think he has a right to be a little bit disappointed, but it's still good points, good result for them. It's their kind of best result as a team this season for McLaren, and I think that'll go a long way in terms of just like up in spirits a little bit. Like I said, they're 49 points behind now. Well, Lando is behind Antonelli, but we're 4 races into what is it, a 22 race calendar, is it now? With the cancellations?
Yeah, with the ones took off. Well, Silverstone's offered to
do another
second race.
I imagine if things have calmed down by the end of the season, they'll try and probably get Saudi or Qatar back in at the end of the calendar with Qatar. But yeah, like there's a long season to go. So like 50 points seems like quite a big gap, but 2 DNFs from Antonelli and 2 wins from Norris, and that's their back level pegging. So you could look at it from any way from that perspective. Yeah. I'm not saying it's over. I don't think it is. And I think the closer those McLarens and Mercedes are, we will have a good title fight here.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting racing, and that's what we're here for.
Definitely.
So, absolutely. Before we move on to the Canada predictions,
yes,
can we go back to before the race? And please do Reese's Funny of the Week.
Reese's Funny of the Week.
Martin Brundle getting his muff bit by Fallon. And that's all I'm going to say about it. Play the clip, and then let's move on.
What do you want to... What do we do here? Come on, you're the best.
You can keep that if you like.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I don't think too much needs to be said about that. Jimmy Fallon's first race in Formula One. Hasn't covered himself in glory there, has he? I mean... I
feel like he went to Colombia prior to the race.
Yeah. Allegedly. I think I'll be interested if he gets an invite back. Did you see Martin's tweet after the race?
Yeah, Martin was not happy.
It's great. One last note from me before we move on from Miami is he's at Qajar. Kind of had the worst weekend he possibly could.
Yep.
DSQ from qualifying, which he won't have been happy with. Started at the back of in the pit lane, and then ended up biffing it into the wall. And he was fuming. I don't know if you saw the clip after he did it, like absolutely pounding his steering wheel. I mean, like that. We know that second Red Bull seat is a tough seat to be in, especially when even Max isn't performing in that car. You might say that might buy him a little bit more time, but do you think that reaction from him was a little bit related to the fact that he is worried about getting the sack or the EZAC, or do you think he's safe?
How old is he? He's 20, isn't he?
He's young. Yeah, that's a good question. Hang on,
I mean, it's kind of the showing the kind of immaturity, if you will. Are you having a little Google?
I'm having a Google.
Nice.
21.
21. So he is showing his like kind of still immaturity, if you will.
Yeah.
What I'd be saying if I was a higher up at Red Bull, or even his engineer should have kind of gone like, I know you're angry, keep it in, sort of thing. Beat up a wall when you get go punch a wall when you get back to the pit, sort of thing, out of the view of the camera. Don't show your frustration. We understand. Everyone will know how annoyed you are at this. Just do it out of view of the cameras.
Yeah.
Go to the gym after the race and absolutely beat up a boxing bag. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't do it where your opponents can then see your weakness, if you will. Because now what they're going to do is they're going to race him quite hard, and it will often end in him beating 10 bells out of his car.
I think he's obviously, like you say, he's young, but I don't know if you can use that as an excuse in F1, because I think a lot of the drivers are young. 21 is young, but it's like Antonelli's leading the championship. He's 18. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's a great excuse for him. He is a good driver, and we've seen that he can drive well. I just feel like honestly, the biggest thing for me is the pressure of that Red Bull seat will be getting to him. I think that's the main contender for it. If Lawson had and what's your man in the Red Bull in the RB?
Go on, fish it. It's there. I don't want to tell you because then you'll feel like you've not achieved anything. It's there.
What's your man's name? Lawson,
It's
and it is. I can see him. His name is Lindblad. Lindblad's doing well. Lawson's doing well in the RB. Neither of them are looking awful. Yeah, I don't know. Is there an argument that he isn't the pressure yet? Maybe not. Maybe he's got a little bit while long. I mean, Lawson didn't get that long, did he? So
no. But at what point at Red Bull do you go, we're going to have to stick with someone here for a year or so? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah.
And then also, does it matter if Max doesn't leave? Maybe try Piastri in that second car.
Yeah, maybe. I think we're looking at maybe a slightly different Red Bull now. Helmut Marko's gone. Horner's gone. I feel like Mekis isn't looking to run a team that's as volatile as the previous. I don't think they're just going to sack a driver just for a few bad races. Maybe I'm reading it wrong.
Exactly.
But
I don't think anyone's getting screamed at in that team anymore.
It seems like they've had a bit of a good internal HR review and gone, oh, this isn't a great working environment. Yeah. Anyway, I think it's something to keep an eye on with Hadjar. I think he needs to pick up his performances a little bit. Like you say, like he was disqualified from qualifying, whereas Max got P2. Okay, Max spat out in the race, but he kind of pulled himself back into it. Hadjar ended up crashing out. So I think it's obviously always going to be difficult to be compared to Max Verstappen. It never will be easy to compare to Max Verstappen, but he needs to do something a little bit better. Final comment from me on Max Verstappen. Have you seen this GT500 video that Red Bull have put out?
No.
Mate, this guy is insane. He's gone during the Japanese Grand Prix a couple of weeks ago, he went to the Fuji racecourse and drove a GT500 car, which is like the peak level of GT500. And he went up against a GT500 driver called, I'm going to butcher this, it's a Japanese name, Atsushi Miyake. I think I did it right there.
If you do it in the accent, you'll get it right.
Nah, that's all right.
Okay.
And he did a lap, Atsushi Miyake did, of this car. Max got in the same car. And Miyake drives this car for this. He's a GT racer.
This is his job.
This is his car.
This is his job.
Max gets in this car. Within 2 laps, he's gone 2 seconds faster.
That's mad, isn't it? It just shows,
mate.
I know it's hard to be F1 drivers are different gravy.
Yeah.
But I mean, it shows how different. It's so crazy, the skill.
I went and did some research because they didn't in this video. They didn't talk about who Miyake was much. So I was like, is this guy like Lance Stroll? Right? Is he the worst driver on that GT500 grid that they put him up against? Right? He came third in the championship in 2024. Like this guy he's a good racer, and Max just goes out and smashes that.
Max is missing the winning feeling. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He is doing the GT race.
Honestly.
He wins.
If anyone hasn't seen it yet, go. It's on the Red Bull, not the Red Bull Race channel, on the actual Red Bull channel. Go and watch it because literally you can see a side to Max Verstappen. He gets in that car and just like that, he does. Literally, he first gets in the car, driving out of the pit lane. He stalls it 3 times. Okay. He stalls it 3 times, gets out onto the track, does 1 reconnaissance lap, does a flying lap, which is like a 10th off of Miyake's time, then does another flying lap, and he's 2 seconds faster. Mate, he is different gravy. It's insane. Anyway, that's enough of Miami, enough of Japan, even a little throwback there. But I just wanted to mention that in there whilst we were talking about Red Bull and Verstappen, etc. He is just different. But shall we have a little chat about Canada?
Yes, let's have a look at our predictions, shall we? It is a sprint as well, Tom.
It is a sprint.
Have you bared that in mind when making your predictions?
I have. Yes, I have. But good. I will let you go first. Reese,
do you want my sprint poll first?
Give me your sprint. We don't do sprint poll and predictions, so no. Give me your sprint top 3. Give me your sprint podium.
Okay, so in third, I've gone for Oscar Piastri.
Okay.
In second, I've gone for Lando Norris.
Interesting.
And on the top spot, I've gone for George Russell.
George Russell. I like it. I don't mind it. I feel like we need to get away from the George Russell hype a little bit.
Hey, come on. When he wins it and I get a point,
Yeah.
I'll be happy.
All right. I feel like I'm going away from Russell with my predictions. I feel like I've been sucked into that a little bit too much based on the first 2 races, and he's not been great since then. So I'm not going for Russell on either of my podiums.
Okay.
My sprint podium, I'm going to say it is Oscar Piastri first.
Oh, you're going first to third.
Oh, did you do third to first?
I did third.
You did, yes, because you said Russell's going to win it. Well, spoilers, I'm going, it's an Oscar Piastri win.
Yep, nice.
Third place, I'm going to really mess up the system here. Luckily, I'm the one doing the graphics, so
I can't handle
you can edit this one if you want.
No, thanks.
Third place, I'm going Lando Norris. And I'm going to split the McLaren. Second place, it's Kimi Antonelli.
Right.
So Piastri, Antonelli, Norris. That's my top 3 for the sprint.
Okay.
What's your poll, Reese? What's your poll?
So my poll will be Kimi Antonelli.
Interesting. Okay.
What is your poll, Tom?
Max Verstappen.
What?
Do. Mate, he nearly came out of nowhere in Miami.
Are you feeling all right?
Do.
Do
Do you like it? It's because in the last episode you bullied me about having Oscar Piastri's hair, so...
So you've gone for King John Uns instead. So, P3, sorry, friendly foot. I mean, I can't talk. Look at this. Absolutely barn it. A bird flew out of that this morning. P3 for me in the race, I've gone for Lando Norris.
Okay.
P2 in the race, I've gone for Oscar Piastri. And first, I've gone for Kimi Antonelli.
Interesting. So you've given George Russell first in the sprint, and you think he'll be nowhere in the race.
I think he'll be fourth.
Okay. Interesting.
I don't think he'll be nowhere. Right.
We don't count sprint polls, but out of interest, are you putting Russell on sprint poll?
I'd put Kimi on sprint pole, I think, and I think Russell would qualify behind him.
Okay. All right.
Wait, why? What?
No, it's all right. I mean, look, you're smashing me in these predictions, so I've got no legs to stand on.
You're like, well, you've just predicted Max Verstappen as a pole, so I mean, if this comes back to haunt me, fair play.
My race podium. Are you ready?
Is all 3 of them going to be Max Verstappen?
Yeah. Third place, Oscar Piastri.
Okay.
Second place, Max Verstappen. Do. And then my race winner, I think he's gonna go back to back. It's Kimi Antonelli.
So we've gone for the same race winner.
Yeah.
See, you.
But listen, mate,
Great minds.
that Max Verstappen on the podium, that's gonna really bump up my points. So
If I say Max Verstappen 5th and he comes in 5th, can I get a bonus point? Because I genuinely think he's going to finish in 5th.
nope.
Fine. When he finishes in 5th and I've not put my house on it at Bet365, I'll be fuming.
Right, there we go. Lots to look forward to. Canada is in 2 weeks' time?
Is it 2 weeks or is it?
It's not this weekend. It's next weekend.
Yeah.
It's the 22nd of May, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, lots to look forward to. Canada coming up. Thank you very much for watching. It's good to be back after a lovely 6 weeks off. And we'll see you after Canada. What an outro.
Should we just pretend like this video came out just after the race and just be like, just like half an hour after?
Oh, wait, we're so on it.
Why don't we just this little podcast inside here. Why don't we bulk record and just pretend like we know what happened at Canada? And like we can do another half an hour now and get it out before the race, and we can be the only podcast that's reviewed the race before the race.
Tell you what, Reece, mad that Max Verstappen got pole, wasn't it? Right, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. Have a lovely weekend, another week, and another weekend. And we'll see you after Canada. I think that's enough time. Bye-bye.
George, make sure you wipe your bum, will you?